But hey there, guys. This is Dumpsters to Dynasties, second episode, or technically the first official episode since the last episode is episode 0, test episode. And I'm here with my co host, Senior Moon.
Hey guys.
Now, since it's been a minute since we recorded the last episode, let's do some small talk real quick. So, how's things been on your end?
Well, since we last talked, I've gotten a PC and I've gotten a new mic because after listening to last recording, I was really upset and I really wanted to fix my mic quality.
Yeah, that's fair. And it's a lot better now. Our
Yeah,
third co-host hasn't arrived, so we don't know what status button that. Anything else on your end?
um I mean, I lately I've just kind of been doing my own thing. I've been excited because the Resident Evil Requiem recently came out, so I've been enjoying my time there when I'm not working or doing classwork.
No, the amount of people I've seen casually pre-ordering it, the game and then playing on as soon as the day of release came out is crazy.
Yeah,
There are already a bunch of shorts and videos of Requiem.
I think so far I got like an hour. Well, last when I first played, I played for an hour before I went to work, and then both before we started doing this, I actually played for a good like 3-4 hours.
And that's 3 to 4 hours. I still plenty. I can't say much on my end because I've also been doing some Elite Dangerous recently, along with Artemis Enfield. Because by the time we recorded the first episode, our Enfield hasn't came out. Enfield, I've been playing some of that as well, along with the Wuthering Waves story update of 3.0 and 3.1, which both has been really good. Let's see, Elite Dangerous, I've been doing system colonization, AFK grind while doing other things. Let's see what else. Yeah, pretty much combat, colonization, and AFK grind. The
So
typical stuff.
yeah, so I also did want to mention too with these classes lately. I've been a bit behind, but I've been trying. I'm doing pretty good. I've been catching up as much as I can.
I mean, hey, both of us are like, hey, this is classes. We've been a bit behind in recording podcast episodes because of classes. That's not fair. Gotta focus on education first. But again, let's try. What I want both of us to do is that for this series is to at least try to at least get once a week, if not twice a month.
Yeah,
So at least we
it's
have
it's
something
definitely best that
and
we
consistent.
try to upload a lot more now. We just
Yeah.
both of us have been really busy, so coming around to recording these have been pretty difficult.
Oh no, definitely.
Especially
Let's see.
for
Oh, let's
our
see.
other host. He has not been able to join us at any of these since he's been he's been busy with his own thing as well.
Yep. I hope he's able to come in on next episode because next episode is his turn.
Yeah, and if anything, I'm stealing that turn.
Yep. If he's unable to come in, Rob's going to take that turn and continue. Aside from
So,
that,
as
let's.
yeah, I was gonna say, as a question, what is your topic for today's dumpster to dynasty?
There's so much things to talk about. I went like through what 3 different games. There's Kurtzpell.
Mm-hmm.
There's also Blue Protocol because that one was a real disappointment after like a whole month of playing. Go, hey, I've been playing this for a whole month. This does not seem good. And third game, I forgot what was the third game was. Had it on my mind. Technically, I wanted to pair up Spellbreak and Curse Spell, but since our other host is not here, we can't really talk much about that
Yeah,
for
I do
Spellbreak.
remember we did confuse Kurt Spell and Spellbreak a lot before we
Yeah.
ended up figuring out that they're both two separate things.
Oh no, yeah, definitely two whole different things. Overall, there's like various games I want to do, but I want to keep it at least in mind to something. I don't want to accidentally confuse people of this as an anime podcast, despite the first two episodes maybe just become the anime game.
Yeah, I mean we're just we're kind of nerds. We kind of like stuff like that. So I mean, it's not totally our
Yeah,
fault.
not our fault, but those are the games we definitely
But
play,
trust
either
me,
from the
my
past or
my
not.
next topic is not going to be anime based. It is going to be on something I personally find amazing.
My next game I'm thinking of may not be anime because it's also a game such as Fractured Space, which I still play here and there, but the game definitely died down due to various reasons. I'm not going to spoil what happened or the reason for it, but I'm going to say, and that's another game I want to talk. Oh yeah, I forgot what the third game was. It was World War III,
Oh,
game that had potential.
not
However, I want to say
not to get it confused with the Call of Duty one, right? That
that's
remake.
Modern Warfare 3,
No, there
and
was
then
a
Black Ops 6,
there was a oh no,
or
I'm thinking
Modern
about
Warfare 3.
World War Two.
Yeah, it was World War II, but I want to save Curse Spell until our other host comes in because I don't want to like double up on Curse Spell and Spellbreak because those two games definitely have potential. Spellbreak is 100% dead because devs shut down the servers. However, I want to at least save Curse Spell. I said so. Let's get to the game known as a World War III, the
Yep.
potential competitor to Battlefield 4. As some people call it, the Battlefield Killer, because at that time Battlefield 5 was released, and then Battlefield 2042 released, and the devs of World War III decided to go, hey, let's take our shots, and basically did nothing else and much. The gameplay is fun. I actually do like the gameplay because it's a mixture of actual Battlefield and some Call of Duty elements, where you have ability to spawn in tanks via kill streaks, and getting kill streaks is not that hard because it's not just kill streaks. You can perform objectives, which actually the objectives of World War III was soon implemented into Battlefield 2042 and Battlefield 6, which is really cool that DICE and EA go, no, let's take elements of World War III into this game since they saw, hey, this is actually fun. A lot of players like it until the devs of World War III kind of just did nothing. So the devs of World War III is New Generation Games. The publisher is Wishlist Games, which, if I'm correct, is a Chinese company.
I was gonna say, did it have like an early access launch back in like 2018?
Oh, if I'm correct, yes, but at that time, I could not play that if there was any early access because at that time, I had the Chromebook, which I casually call it Chromebook because it gone so bad. It kind of upset me just using it just for like not even just gaming, but also other things because it refused to connect to Wi-Fi, slow, and other stuff. But than that, like I think there was early access, and
Yeah,
it's also
so
free to play.
yeah, I was gonna say I did do a bit of looking at stuff right now, and it did say it had an early access back in 2018, but it had like a really like bad one because the game faced so many technical issues, and it only got worse over time.
Yeah, and 2018 because this game had a reboot, but I'll get to that when we get to the reboot phase. So starting out, World War III was announced 2018. It said it was hyped up to be the Battlefield Killer. It played like it's okayish from what I've seen. Again, at that time I could not play it, because I did not have a proper rig at that time. World War Three then went radio silent for a hot minute, but it went on like for a few. Do not know how long. I probably should have prepped for this episode, now realizing it. But again, 2018, I think up to 2020, so throughout the entire COVID, it went on like for a year
So,
or so
so
with little to no updates.
yeah. So from what I'm looking here, it was developed by Farm 51, and it had a downfall from its so it promised 2018 early access launch, but there was like I said, severe technical issues. There was server instability and the lack of effective communication for its like community, I'm assuming. And
Yeah, that
despite
was
its
one
like
thing.
early hype as the Battlefield killer, the game's like player base like went down so bad because there's broken matchmaking and the
Oh
performance
yeah.
did so bad.
Not only that, the audio, from what I remember, was absolutely abysmal. The net coding was weird. Add on like the entire environment was not the greatest. I'm also looking at this gameplay trailer. I just like this ship with Artie Burke visuals with Russian 6-inch. I think it's not 6-inch guns. It's with the Russian destroyer gun. That kind of hurt me a bit. But yeah, My Games. Let's check out what My Games is. My Games, they're from Amsterdam, Netherlands. So an EU game. Also, I'm just doing a quick look up on Wikipedia. Are you also there?
I'm actually looking at some gameplay
Yeah,
right
perfect.
here. It does look kind of promising, honestly. Like
Yep. Oh,
I see the potential, but I see where certain things fell off and why it could not succeed.
oh no, yeah, I played World War Three up to like last year actually. Like here and there, not like constantly, but I'll get to that once we get to the reboot. So yeah, right here, I like how the description of World War Three is very, very short. Yep, Korean. There's also not as much maps during the start of World War Three early access, because at that time I think there was only like 3 maps, 2 maps, which with very few modes actually, which isn't the greatest deal, especially early access where you promise. Sure, there's like team deathmatch, conquest, like those are the 2 prominent ones I remember, but that's still not as much compared to like what we had with Battlefield 6 with sure like I think 1 mode, but it has various of stuff
Uh,
that
um,
came out. I think it's been a minute since I played the Battlefield 6 open beta.
yeah, I was gonna say for World War Three, for it being a free game, they did have a lot of like microtransactions. Like you had to go buy like skins for your guns, like and or better guns, or was it like how did
Yep.
that work?
Okay, so microtransaction on 40s, because may as well get to the reboot because there's nothing much to talk about the first development. So the reboot, the Git devs went silent, but then now they came back with promising. So I'll get to the microtransaction because this is actually part of the microtransaction question you have. It will build off of it. So with the microtransaction was all right. Here you can pre-buy the game or not already. I would say supporter packages. You can still get it for free, but there's supporter packages before release with various stuff. And there's only the highest tier, which only one person can buy. I think it was, let me check. For 3 package release highest price. Because with this highest price, the devs promised to make a movie, and whoever supported that highest tier would be part of the movie. Yep, it's $5 million. Holy crap! It's been a minute. Yeah, $5 million for President Pack. You're promised a lot of things in games. with Billy to be part of the movie,
Yeah, I'm looking
which
at
obviously never happened.
I'm looking at stuff now, man. So its peak like player count was on its early access on October 2018. Their top amount of players that they had was 11,792. And the current
Yeah,
player peak right now is at least 80. But as
yeah,
of
it's really
current
bad.
online players, there's only 36 playing it right now.
Yeah, and then so once that game released, I said that even like upon release, it's still plenty, but now it's at 80. I'll get to why I got to 80 players in a few. So as soon as game released, back to your question or continuation of your question of microtransaction, the way for the game to even obtain money is from microtransaction. And the game actually has technically two, but they're all like in one. It's primarily cosmetics. And then if you want to buy a I'm gonna say what Elite Dangerous does pre-built weapon in a way. You can also spend some currency, but you do not unlock the weapon. You cannot customize it in any other shape or form other than what you can get within the in-game store. Then there's also other cosmetics, which I actually want to give praise to World War III devs for making very unique skins for the game that actually stays as realistic as possible, which a lot of players complain about Battlefield 6 making unrealistic skins.
Yeah, a lot of that also does aim towards Call of Duty as well, because Call of Duty used to be just pure on war based, and when it came to like certain characters that would release, they would at least have like some unique like armor skins and unique operator skins. But now, like you have American Dad, Beavis and Butthead, you have a lot of these like unrealistic like,
Yeah,
characters that
and
you
this
see.
and this game was supposed to come out during when Battlefield 5 was at its lowest, where people complained a lot. Then people are getting fatigued from the continuous sci-fi theme of Call of Duty. People
Yeah,
just want another
yeah.
Modern
The
Warfare
thing
game.
is, though, now that I'm like comparing the two as of like average, like today, the average players on Battlefield 5 right now are 801, and in its
Yeah,
full 24-hour peak, it had 4,431 players still playing.
it just shows out that hey, even if the devs leave, they left the game at a reasonable state. So because gameplay in Battlefield 5 is still really cool, just like how in World War 3, the development of well, not development gameplay of World War 3 is pretty cool because you know how Battlefield you just have the standard HP system similar to Call of Duty and other arcadey style games. Or three wants to like level up the arcadey with to some realism, which gives you body armor health and helmet health. And so they have their own hitbox. You can penetrate the armor with higher caliber rounds, but it moves out some of your customization coins or tickets. I forgot. It's been a minute since I played World War III, and that can penetrate armor but do less damage to the person. So there's a lot of customizability here for the game.
So yeah, I was gonna say, hearing you say that, it's like so they had a thing for armor and how certain damage was dealt, but
Yep.
so it was very unique in its own way. But like, did they do anything? What did they do to like kill that? I want to know like the biggest killer for this game besides the server issues.
The biggest killer of this game is lack of updates. And a great example of lack of updates is BattleBit. Because BattleBit has done nothing at all for a hot minute once it released onto a PC. Or not PC, on its own client, rather than what was BattleBit used to be on? BattleBit. Because I know BattleBit Remastered is Steam and its own client. I'm trying to see where Origins, but because how about Bit never really updated, it just kind of died because the devs decided to be super quiet about it. And us players should have seen this happening because the devs barely communicated with the players with World War III.
Yeah,
And it's
that's a big problem, especially nowadays. If you're not connecting with your community about your game, it can lead to a bunch of like mishaps and downfalls for it because like then you don't get to get the reviews, the criticism that you need to hear so you can fix what's wrong. And yeah, just
yup,
not having that can completely destroy a game. Like even for like Overwatch and Siege, for example, those games, a lot of people hate them for what they are, but their developers are always listening to their player base. Well, from what I know, from they listen to them to an extent, like, and that's what they do to keep people playing it.
yeah, like heck, even some of the games that has barely any communication, the devs at least try to keep communicating with the people, even if they don't have as much updates. I mean, except Terraria, somehow that's an anomaly in itself. The final update, they say, as they drop another update.
I
Like,
I still have to get into Terraria.
no, I love Terraria. Yeah, even with some of the trailers you see with World War III, you see that some the helmets fly off from hitting it, and then you see like the kill streak marker. Like it's trying to merge two types of games together. That is really cool, but knowing that they were extremely quiet in a lot of cases, but their update got slower and slower. With the only other way of earning income is through microtransaction in game, being cosmetics for guns, buying pre-built guns, and cosmetic for like characters as well, based off of real life outfits of operators, served with some creative liberty. But it's really cool because it has multiple guns that we barely saw at the time, such as the QBZ 191, the HK 4017. Honestly, also some Polish guns. I forgot some of the Polish guns in there. Even the M200 not interdictor, the M200 50 cal rifle, which is in barely any other games, if at all, along with the ability to change your tanks and your other like loadout and such, compared to like with Battlefield, you're stuck with one type of vehicle for a faction. At least with World War III, you can change out your vehicles on the same class. They have their different type of armor layout and so forth. It's like so much in this game that was just kind of wasted. And updates. Want to know when was the last update of World War III?
When was the last update? I'm actually kind of curious now.
If I maybe type it in and mm, last update. The last update video game. If I maybe type right, because the name is interesting for starters. The fact
Yeah,
that they named their thing World War III is kind of interesting as well.
yeah. I was gonna say, for a game to be named that, you would expect certain aspects for that game. Then when you look deeper into it, it just it's a little bit confusing.
Yeah, with because people are like, oh no, when is World War III going to happen? Well, yeah, I finally put it up. 1.5 was the last update, and that was in uh I just had okay, let me make sure I'm giving this right. The last update was in November 8th.
Jeez,
And
in November 8th, and like I'm assuming like
of 2025.
Oh,
2025. But there isn't much they added. It's like a small update.
yeah. I was gonna say, geez, they're actually kind of keeping up, but then if it's nothing
Like the,
major, there's kind of no point.
yep, it says right here, new daily challenges have been added. The rewards of some difficulty challenge increase. Update tracking daily challenges fixed. Memory consumption was reduced, which know what that from what I played then that helps improve FPS stability. But maps, no new maps added.
So
No, they just fixed some respawns.
yeah,
Bots.
I was gonna say,
They just added bots to different maps.
you see it for that company. Do you know what other like games they've made?
Let me take a quick look.
Because I was gonna say
The
when it comes to companies that make a promising title, it doesn't hurt to try again because sometimes you could honestly redeem yourself even if like you screw up badly.
Yep, you can 100% redeem yourself. They just have to put the effort. So the original dev team, Farm 51, they made Time Ace in 2007, Necrovision 2009, Necrovision Lost Company 2010, Painkiller and Hell and Painkiller, Hell and Damnation 2012, Deadfall Adventures 2013, Get Even 2017, Chernobyl Lights 2021. That's an interesting name. And then World War III that was released in 2022 at the end of COVID. But if you look at the new dev team who help make game, wishlist game, let me actually pull them up. There was apparently no hyperlink. Okay, browser.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I mean, there's we talked about it in our last episode. We talked about Cyberpunk. That those developers they've redeemed themselves with like releasing the game, working more on it. So I'm pretty sure with these game devs, I'm pretty sure this company they could redeem themselves if maybe they work on the game again. And like, I mean, the thing is though, do you think they can even redeem World War III, or do you think they would have to bring it back with a new title?
World War III, I'm be so honest, is way out of reach for them to redeem it. They have the potential to redeem it. The problem is with the new dev team known as Wishlist Games, which owns Armored Warfare, which in itself is an issue, in my opinion, which I'll probably get to like talk about it in a few. Knowing with how they're treating Armored Warfare, I doubt World War III could return. That there has to be a new title. Because
Yeah, I see a lot of these game companies. There's definitely a lot of them that could
yep.
have potential, but then they kind of screw it up because it's not even the player base, it's themselves. Like you said, like they for them lacking their updates, lacking communication with their community, that's what leads to like 90% of games nowadays is downfall.
Yep. Because from 2019 to almost for 3 whole years, 2019 to 2022, about 3 years, because the time frame of them actually finally communicating is way too long for their own good. They complete dead silence. Like understand, hey, let's keep it quiet for now because we gotta focus on this game. But nothing go, hey, this game's still being developed, or hey, we're still working on this, or hey, we're having some technical issues on this. No, they just kept quiet for 3 whole years. And that's an issue because if you want to at least keep your game relevant while in development, you should at least still communicate here and there. I'm following Sanctuary's development and they at least try to communicate least once a year at best. Because if they cannot talk much about it, they still at least try to give it once a year. And that's still better than leaving your community with nothing for 3 whole years. And then, hey, we're about to release the game. Here's this. It's literally the same issue to why also High Guard also kind of got butchered, minus how they kind of got their game on the special trailer of what was the event called?
I'm not sure.
Man, my brain almost went to E3, but I know that's not right because they stopped with E3. Game Awards, Game Awards, something with that. Game Awards,
It could have been Game Awards.
yeah. Their only trailer wasn't even a gameplay trailer. It was just animated trailer with high guards, but they continued to do nothing, not even showcase gameplay or stuff about high guard, and then release it. And that always contributed to how bad it is. The game is okay from what everyone else is saying, but it did nothing to showcase the gameplay. World War III already got like early access and beta. However, they proceeded to stay silent for 3 whole years, which in itself is a problem because a lot of games I've seen, if they do early access, there's at least a year of wait.
Yeah,
Because they're maybe like
that's
doing
fairly
fine
true.
tuning.
Like even it also does depend on the company because there are certain companies that not just do early access with like just one release. They do multiple releases, like an alpha, a beta, and
Yeah,
I've played certain games that have had both of those, where normally like the alpha is kind of iffy, then the beta is like completely refurbished compared to the original version.
yep.
Unless I got those two mixed up, but
Still, there's even if they're not going to release the game the next year, they still at least do something with beta or alpha for players to at least play, showcase they're doing something and not nothing
dude,
throughout the entire 3 years.
my chair is making
What?
so much noise.
Well, I can hear it, so you're fine.
Yeah, but it's probably gonna be picking up in my recording, so we
But
might
with
have to
like
cut
three
it.
whole years, yeah, with 3 whole years, they was also crazy is that after 3 whole years of developing game, nothing seems like they have changed. Minus like maybe a few new maps, a few new modes. But other than that, nothing else seemed to change from 2018 to 2022.
That's what
I mean, that's 5 years.
yeah,
That's almost 5 years.
I that's that's very crazy, honestly. I'm like I try to wrap my head around it, and it's just I don't understand how you could do that to something you create, like something that you've
It,
worked hard on, and you should be proud of it for how long you worked on it, and to at least like you're
yeah,
sharing it out to a community for free too. So
and
it's
yeah, this game has so much potential too. I really enjoy the gameplay of it. The problem is it gets stale real fast because the devs aren't really doing much in events. At best, they're doing is battle pass events, but there's no story behind it. It's just battle pass.
yeah. I was looking at it. I was like, if this would probably have been a game I would have picked up back then, but
Yeah, because
I I just I was interested to a lot of FPS shooters back then. I play them every now and then still, but they're not my biggest like interest now. But like
and
back
that's
then, I
fair.
would have like been on it all the time. But now it's just like if I were to pick that up, I feel like I would have been really disappointed.
Yeah, because along with me myself, with along a bunch of other people, kept their hopes up even after release, hoping that they would at least do something else. They did nothing, and from last year of playing World War III, there was like trying to get a lobby for conquest is impossible. The only other game that I could get into is just King of the Hill, because they added boss to that, and that's the only reason why I was able to get a game. And then now I think they added from their update, they added boss to other maps
Like,
for other modes, but I feel like that shouldn't be the first solution to keep the game alive. I feel like they should at least give more reasons to play the game other than bots.
yeah, I was gonna say you can tell when a game has had its downfall when it starts adding bots just so you can get into a game.
Yeah, it's literally like why Battlefield 2042 just kind of died, because there's bots in the game. They're not fixing the game. They're just adding bots to give like a very bad band-aid solution to it. And no one wants a terrible band-aid solution to a game. Sure, you can like stopgap it, but have something big later on. But there's no other big major updates
Like, I,
from this.
I
Like,
will mention, like, when it comes to shooters, like, I hear Call of Duty is still thriving. Like, even with its like obnoxious uh updates with its random like characters that they add into the games, the really unique uh like how everything works in the game. I just find it
oh,
interesting how they're able to like still keep it up without having to fill their lobbies with bots, because
yep,
I'm pretty sure there's still Warzone right now that's active, and there's still like a bunch of people playing that without having to deal with long lobby load times and also having to deal with bots on their battlefield.
yep. Also, I want to make a quick correction. This is a Polish-made game, so they're not going to follow the American style
I
calendar
see.
dating. The actual day is August 11th, 2025.
Where they did an update.
That's the last update.
Wow.
Nothing else since.
So instead of November, it was August. That's wow. I'm like, when you think about that, that's like even games like shoot, like,
Their last map added was March 14th, 2025.
and that map was, I'm assuming, like a pretty mediocre one.
It's it's the King of the Hill map with
Oh,
the bots.
okay. Yeah, I see now.
It's literally only for the King of the Hill mode, which they named it Stronghold mode, but it's King of the Hill. They can't hide that as King of the Hill. Like that's really disappointing because everything else is just minor update for fixes, and even the last patch was August. But even so, like as much as we have to hate current Call of Duty, at least they're adding stuff to the game to keep people drawn in. There's nothing here for World War III that warrants coming back to, other than hey, cool guns that we don't see. But at that point, Battlefield 6 is out now, and you can just use the guns there that we see in World War III.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even though Battlefield 6 isn't a Call of Duty killer right now, it's still performing very well to
Yeah,
this
even
day.
with season 2 of Battlefield 6 being a bit mediocre, Rip, what was the guy's name? I forgot what the guy's name, but Rip, head developer of Battlefield 6. Even so, when someone else took over, they're at least adding something into the game. There weren't people coming into the game It still runs fine. It still runs good. World War 3 is just there, just a disappointment, and that sucks. Like 8 players online and nothing else. The last event they actually did was, if I did not click on it, the last event was on May 8th, 2025. Design your own mission.
Design your own mission.
Yep, they
Well,
just submit it, like what you should do, requirements, so forth. They give you like in-game currency as a prize. They do have a Discord server, which I'm guessing is dead right now. But I doubted they added into the game because this was supposed to be added into the game. Like, what did they run out of funding somehow? Did they lose interest because they have to switch studios or they gave the IT they gave the IP to Wishlist Games, which again I have some issues with it with Armored Warfare. But again, it's like super disappointing that this happened.
yeah, because I was also gonna say, like, also when it comes to companies, like, do you think the original company, if they were able to buy that back, do you think they would be able to fix it? Because now that I'm realizing that the most of the stuff I said, like, it was pretty much butchered, not just from its original company because they sold off their rights to the game. They sold it to a company that basically just let the game die.
Let me see what happened with them. Is this the right company? Hold on. Oh, the Dutch publisher. I went to the wrong one. Farm 51. Ooh, let's see. There's barely any information on what happened to them. They're they have 100 employees as of 2018, so that's not even up to date. Oh no, yeah, I
And
they managed to get their game published to Bandai Namco with Get Even. And let's check out this game. But I'd rather not look into it now. No, I if they pick it up now, I do not know because again, these were the original devs that decided to be quiet for almost 5 years with nothing in between.
and
So even if they picked up, I don't think they would do much with it.
yeah, that's completely fair. Because I was gonna say, Hightail, they kind of had that situation where, like, what was it? The it was an original development by another company before it didn't really do that well before another company bought it out and made it actually better. Because it's a really, I heard that it's really popular right now.
Oh no, yeah, because they trusted that Riot Games would basically finish up development. Riot Games kind of like did nothing and made it worse. So the devs of Hytale bought back the actual Hytale, made it better within like a very short time, published it, and it's sold pretty well. But they're passionate about that. I don't think devs of World War III don't have any passion to it anymore if they just kind of like gave it away to another company.
Yeah, I'm like trying to like look around here. I'm like just seeing like I don't know what they really could do to like help fix all that.
Yep. Yeah. I don't see any other information of the Farm 51. Like they've gone silent.
S- So, I'm assuming we've pretty much talked about what we mainly could about the game. Because I'm
Yup.
doing as much research as I can. I'm not really finding too much stuff about it.
Seems like the devs of War of War 3 went to something else. I don't know.
Well,
And just switch to a different language. Thank you very much, game thing. Because the first thing I see is Chernobyl Light 2 exclusive zone, which feels like I want to say Stalker clone, but more or less Stalker lookalike, but successor to their Chernobyl Light.
yeah.
That's what it seems like they've been working on.
Uh,
So this is kind of abandoned World War 3 for this game, by the looks of it.
so now that I'm looking at the time, it seems like we're getting to the end of our episode.
Recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to do the honors?
Man, I don't forgot what we what we did last time. Oh man, it's been a hot minute. But before we end, like, do you have any extra thoughts?
I mean, I just find it really disappointing how game companies like that can really like. I mean, I understand that there's not games for everyone. Not everything's always going to work out, but it's always
Yeah,
disappointing to see something that could be promising just burn.
pretty much. Yeah, and World War 3 just fell into the same hole as what the game like BattleBit did. Because after like World War 3 just kind of like walked, Delta Force and BattleBit came out. BattleBit died out because devs did nothing. It's like seems like the shooters that try to compete against Call of Duty and Battlefield end up perishing because devs don't show any passion for whatever reason. The only other one that showed passion were what was it? The ex EA dev team, what was it called? The Finals. There you go, the game called The Finals and Delta Force. Those two games are still rocking. But because those devs actually have passion in making the game compared to like World War 3 and BattleBit. So yeah.
All right.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all I have for right now. Sorry, my head's kind of like somewhere else right now. I'm thinking about if I'm forgetting something.
Any other questions?
No, that's kind of it.
All right. Well, that's everything for this episode of Dumpsters to Dynasties. Talked about World War 3. If you like the video or podcast, my brain went to video formatting. If you like the podcast, leave a like anywhere, leave a review, depending if you get this on podcast, on Spotify, or any other podcasting platform.
I get that
Subscribe anywhere.
My bad. I just want to say we're a bit awkward. We're still new to this. We're just trying to get the ropes to it.
Yep, we're learning the experience. Don't worry. But yeah, follow, subscribe, depending on where you're at, so we can keep following our podcast episodes. This is the first official episode of Dumpsters Dynasties, minus the experimental episodes will probably help as well.
Yeah.
And that should be all. Hopefully, our co-host is coming in for next episode.
Oh,
If
I'm
not,
stealing
Senior
that
Moon.
episode.
Yep, Senior Moon will be taking the episode. I forgot to introduce myself at the very beginning. This is Croskerk and Senior Moon. See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.